Hello and welcome back to the Premier Injuries channel. We've got another one of our urgent updates in terms of injuries in the Premier League. Today we're talking about the massively owned Trent Alexander-Arnold. He's one of the most important and most owned players in Fantasy Premier League and just across all fantasy assets as well. Ben, what is the latest on this breaking injury news?
Yeah, there had been a lot of talk about Trent prior to tonight's game. He wasn't part of the travelling squad on Monday evening. However, we had heard from Jurgen Klopp earlier in the day. He said that there was no fresh injury concerns. The only people that were missing were long-term absentees, which included Thiago Alcantara with a calf problem and also Harvey Elliott with a fractured dislocation of his ankle. The team had also trained as part of an open session. So all of the journalists, everybody observed that, and Trent Alexander was a part of that open session. So there was a little bit of mystery shrouded in why he wasn't actually with the group. And it transpires that we've just had an update from Jurgen Klopp, who's been talking to BT Sport. Now, Jurgen Klopp said that, once the cameras had gone, the team got into training, and just before the end of the session, Trent actually felt something and finished that session early. Now, that was a groin-related problem. Initially, they thought it was fatigue. They were coming off the back of that evening kickoff at Brentford, hard-fought 3-3 draw, and he thought it was related to that, so took him out and expected it just to be a bit of a precautionary issue. However, further tests and assessments have now revealed that it's a little bit more serious than first thought, and the right back is now flagged. Obviously, he's missing the Champions League game, but he's also flagged as a major doubt for Sunday's game against Manchester City.
So what is the problem here, and is it a long-term problem as well that Fantasy Premier League managers may have to consider getting him out of their teams?
Yeah, I mean, this news is literally hot off the press. So all we know at this moment in time, like I say, it was initially reported as a little bit of tightness in the groin, and that was an indication that it was maybe not too serious. Unfortunately, further tests have come back and said it's slightly more than that. Now, we're going to hope that, in terms of the severity of the problem, grade 1 being, the least, the minor, up to grade 3, we're hoping that it's just going to be because of the words that Klopp's used and how he's described the problem. It may just be that grade 1 injury. Now, if that is the case, that would be great news. Like I say, we would typically expect maybe a return to play in maybe 7 to 14 days. That brings question marks with regards to his involvement this weekend against Manchester City. It would also rule him out of the upcoming international matches, I would say, certainly the first one as a precautionary measure, but all being well, we could see a return in game week 8. If it was something a little bit more sinister than that, then we could be talking potentially, if it was a grade 2, maybe 2 to 4 weeks, or even possibly longer.
And so with that situation there, we'll be looking towards the Man City game this weekend. People, at the moment, your advice is not to get him out because we don't know if it's more serious than a grade 1. But tactically, the team will be very much affected because they're very reliant on that wing-back system. So who do you imagine will be coming in at that right-back slot?
Yeah, well, we see James Milner coming into the Champions League side in that right-back spot. Now, the question will be, can he play games in quick succession? Fortunately, Liverpool play on the Tuesday and then the Sunday, so there's lots of recovery time. But if there should be a problem in this game, we do have the return of Nico Williams, who was back after a recent foot problem. And there's also the possibility, if Jurgen Klopp wanted to really change things up and he wanted to change that formation, he could go with a back 3 and go with Virgil van Dijk, with Joel Matip, and maybe, Konate in there and play Andy Robertson in a slightly advanced role on the other side. And that's a possibility. So there are options within that Liverpool squad for Jurgen Klopp.
Yeah, this is the good thing. Probably in difference to last season, is there seems to almost be a little bit backup, a little bit more leeway for the team. But for now, that is our quick update and giving an insight into the Trent Alexander-Arnold situation. As we said, this is hot off the press. This is breaking news. And here at the Premier Injuries channel, make sure to subscribe because we bring you information. We don't bring misinformation. We don't bring rumour. We just give you the most accurate information to help you with your teams. But for now, we're going to wish you the best of luck and hopefully a good luck in your fantasy Premier Leagues this weekend.